All right, guys. So we've been working out. Conditioning is key. We are studying combat psychology. We even got a plan of attack brewing. So what's next? The fun part. Simulation. But what is simulation in boxing? The simple answer is sparring, but too many of these gyms got it wrong. I see it all the time. Sparring is either A, unrealistic, like shadowboxing, no strategy, or B, way too real, turning into like a full-on fight. Sparring is about experimentation, so finding that sweet spot where you learn without risking your health is where we want to get to. Now, let's start with the biggest red flag: toxic competitive sparring. You got Tank Davis versus Devin Haney. When you look at this, you got two world-class boxers that were early in their careers, letting the egos take over, with the hands down, talking to the crowd, shoving each other, hitting with the hand down. This isn't training. It's a street fight. It's uncontrolled. There's risk here. There's CTE. There's brain damage. It's unreversible. Not to mention the ego swell. Pros get paid to take risks. We don't do that in the gym. Now compared to this, we've got these amateurs working together. It's competitive. It's kind of controlled. One boxer might be a little bit ahead, but the other one's still learning. They're working on position, the defense, and staying calm. There's different offense coming out. Check the impact on these punches. They're not crazy, chaotic. The mood is focused. That's the goal. So how do you get there? Well, 3-step process. Number one, we got to identify a skill. Let's pick something fun. Offense. And not just throwing punches, but something specific like countering a jab with a straight right. Step 2, you want to drill it. Catch the flip inside or duck and hit the body with the right hand. Practice it with a partner and you can build your muscle memory. And then step 3, of course, is to test it in sparring, in open sparring. Don't win the round. Forget that. You're winning. How many times can I counter that jab? Doing 8 out of 10, that's a huge win, even if they land other shots. It's about your progress, not destroying your partner. Becoming a destroyer is how you end your training and you start fighting. You're not ready to start fighting. You just learned how to walk and you're wanting to go out into an all-out sprint and try out all these new things. Let's keep it simple. Let's keep it super, super simple. Now, I'm going to give you a small lesson on time. Okay. We can talk a little bit about gamifying here too, but the knock-knock drill. This drill is based on the rule of 3. I've done a few videos of this in the past, and I'll briefly explain it. But for more on that, check my videos on the rule of 3.
So he was looking at the referee. You got to protect yourselves at all times.
And he just ducked underneath that left hook.
Garcia opens with his signature left hook 3 times in a row, even after being told not to throw it. Look, Tank uses his lead hand to post and tell him not to throw it, but he does it anyway. This is disrespectful to Tank's reflexes. Here, Tank is running a closed guard game, which means he's looking to counter you, even if something does slip through. I struggle to understand why you would throw the same punch 3 times in a row in this situation.
Point, you have to try and set that up.
No, you're right, because in previous fights we've seen that he seems kind of awkward, but in this fight he's not looking.
There's a big left.
This one's more subtle. He pushes the envelope 3 times in a row. 1, 2, and then he expands on the 3rd one. It's more than just doing something 3 times in a row. The rule of 3 is a psychological concept, and it was taught to me by Kaizen, my mentor. He taught me by playing a simple game of Street Fighter, but then I was able to weaponize it and use it in real-life fighting. By doing 2 small things, I can create anticipation and cause something big to happen and counter it. If you can recognize it, you can weaponize it. I show it so much, even in this drill. I created the knock-knock drill to help people understand using the rule of 3 to create that anticipation and to become a seer. This is the idea of Wukong boxing. It's not just a style of punching. There's combat psychology involved. Once the boxing and combat sports world truly understands this,
the IQ will shoot up.
So the rule of three is an anthropologically studied phenomenon. This was taught to me by my mentor, Kaizen, and it states that people tend to remember things and stories better when they're grouped in threes. More potent. You have the Three Stooges. We have the Three Blind Mice. Live, laugh, love. Beginning, middle, and end. This is something that's present in marketing, storytelling, now in combat. Kaizen may not have realized how revolutionary this concept is, but I do. And I've been sharing with my students. And the reason that three is such a powerful number is, think about it. One thing is just that. It's an occurrence. Now, two things, well, that's twin. Maybe. But three things, that is the establishment of a pattern. And that tickles our curiosity. We are naturally inclined to seek this curiosity and to finish this story. We crave an ending. We want to see the end of the pattern. And we can't help but be drawn into the ring. Or can we? Can we weaponize this? Does this even have anything to do with fighting, right? People get confused when I start talking about this, but the truth still rings in their head. 100% of the time, they listen. They listen to hear the connection. I give a very simple example, and people tend to react to this. So I'll have somebody come and demonstrate with me during boxing class, and I won't tell them anything. I'll just make eye contact, okay? I'll look at them, I'll put my hands up, and I'll just toss a jab. They're almost never ready, right? But some are. And then I just toss a second jab. Now, some people defend, some might lag behind, some jab back. But as I'm about to throw the third, I stop and feint it instead. Every single time my partner reacts strongly, whether it's a counterpunch, a slip, or disengagement, or jab, something, and I'll ask the class, what did I just do? And they start to catch on a little bit when I throw out that word, anticipation. I built tension. I gave him a story. I gave him an intro, a middle, and then I stopped. I let him finish the story, okay? In this case that someone counters my jab, I just learned something about them. They told me they're a counter type. Well, at least in that instance. From then on, I have an idea, the musical tempo, right? I can start counting on them to start setting something up on 1 and 2, and then doing something big on 3, which might be a counterpunch. The idea is that I walked up to them, I gave them an empty piece of paper, I gave them a pen. 2 small things, right? And then I was silent. In that silence, they chose to write the script. Or maybe they chose to walk away, or maybe they gave it back to me, or they draw a picture, right? In a sparring round or in boxing, how's this look? Well, I walk forward and I do 2 small things. I could jab, I could hold up a closed guard, I could feint, I could step to the left, I could touch their glove lightly, I could jab them in the body. And after 2 things, I'm silent. I allow them to show me what they're trying to do while maintaining my rhythm at a defensively responsible pace, right? I'm always defending. And at times, I'll do these 2 small things and they'll do absolutely nothing. I'll be aggressive for several blocks before they start getting aggressive. Some people get aggressive immediately, and from then I start 1, 2, boom. What is this? 1, 2, boom. The entire time, you do defense, taking notes on their hat. What do they like to do? With every count, I start synchronizing with their rhythm and begin to control it. And soon enough, I make them run into my fist. They're doing 6% of the work for me. This isn't a drill or trick of hands to just land a punch. It's an idea to recognize people, to control pacing. This drill does wonders for overthinkers. I'm an overthinker myself. It simplified things in such a powerful way for me. So the rules of the drill go like this. The first level. Number 1, you do 2 small things and be silent, right? That's obvious. And number 2 is 0 steps backwards. You must practice your defense and stay forward with confidence. 0 steps backwards. They have to force you backwards. And number 3 is don't stop counting. When they start doing that, like let's say I do 1, they do something big. Don't stop. Just that's their third thing. Okay. And after every single time when I have somebody do this homework, they come back to me excited, waiting for the next step and the next level, which is even more exciting. So guys, give this a try in your next technical sparring session, okay? If you're having trouble, comment. Let me know what you guys think of the drill, but comment if you're having trouble and I'll help you guys because it's helped my students so much. And I really, really want everybody to use this. And as we move forward, of course, well, now we have the idea, the 3 basic things that help us build a strategy and help us observe, right? So we have the rule of 3 that we can use to start picking up on patterns and recognizing things and letting people, reveal themselves to us. And then we also have conditioning. That was the first thing that we have to do. And then psychology and understanding outside of the rule of 3 and the timing idea here. But we have just the psychology of when do people like to attack? How do they like to do things? How do they commonly do things? What kind of traps are there? And what can we not fall for? Right? And then, of course, now we have our testing phase where we go through and we test. And this is the best test that you can do. Knock, knock. And see who answers the door. Right? Now, as we move forward, I'll start doing videos of specific film studies and basic openings and lines of attacks that we see. For example, Floyd Mayweather versus Diego Corrales. That was a very, very fundamentally basic series of attacks. It was beautiful. He had a beautiful jab and goes into a system I call walk the dog. He had 3 basic attacks that he did, and then he just freestyled off of that and got a beautiful knockout. So, anyway, stay tuned, guys, and happy training.
If he wants them out of the way, as he wants it, so be. As he wants it, so be. As he wants